Ladies and gentlemen, you know, maybe, that I'm a longtime user and supporter of Shure digital wireless systems. That's because they just work, they work all over the world, they sound great, great audio, no dropouts. That covers most of the bases for me. That's what I want out of a wireless, not something that is difficult to set up, not something that imparts its own sound on the guitar sound, not something that ever has dropouts and problems. So I've been using Shure Axient wireless for a number of years now, which is the best, I think, on earth. It just works everywhere in every country and sounds amazing. But it's not inexpensive. And most people out there, to be fair, probably don't need it. I mean, if they're playing in clubs, if they're playing in church, if they're playing smaller gigs, even touring regionally, the huge range of frequencies available and the sort of versatility and ability to work worldwide just might not be something that everybody needs. So they might not need Axient. Now, Shure for years had this awesome little pedal board-based digital wireless system called the GLX-D. It got discontinued a little while ago, and now they've replaced it with this. This is the Shure GLX-D Plus dual band digital wireless guitar pedal system. GLX-D was always kind of the industry standard from the time it came out, guitar pedal board based wireless system. You could put it on your board. It served as kind of the first pedal in the chain as a tuner. And now with this new system, basically what they've got is more coverage, less complexity, superior audio. They also make microphone systems with 58 or lav mics, that kind of thing with this GLX system, but we're just looking at the guitar system today. So this will have the guitar transmitter pack. There's a cable included. I want to take it out, set it up, plug it in, see how easy it is to get up and running, listen to the sounds compared to a cable. Just kind of give you guys the overall idea of what this thing does, how easy it is to set up and use, and what it sounds like. Hopefully it doesn't sound like anything. Hopefully it's just very transparent. So a couple cool things about this just before we get going here. This works in the 2.4 and 5.8 gigahertz bands. So you've got tons of frequencies there for it to scan and just automatically find a clean channel for you so that you're not going to get any dropouts. Superior audio, always come through clear. Captivate the audience with your sound. GLX-D dual band intelligently avoids interference to give you total wireless freedom. Now, a really cool feature on this, there's actually a 1/4-inch jack built into the receiver so that you can plug a cable right in and you can still access the tuner. Maybe in the studio you want to use your pedal board that the system's mounted on, you don't need the wireless in the studio. So yeah, you can still plug right into the receiver, access the tuner, and essentially use the system with a cable.
What about batteries, battery life? How do I charge?
So included here in the box, let's open it up, is actually a USB charging cable. So right in here, that's what this is. USB charging for the pack.
You just plug in right here, little USB charger. This guy right here.
Watch this. Get in there, perhaps, if I wasn't so stupid.
There we go. Now it's charging via a USB plug plugged into my AC outlet.
But speaking of the battery life, you're not likely to run out of battery because there's now up to 12 hours of charge available on the lithium-ion battery on the pack. And actually in just 15 minutes of charging time from dead, if the battery's completely dead, you can get up to 1.5 hours of use out of 15 minutes of charge. So that's pretty cool. This power supply right here, this is for the unit itself. It's a 12-volt 400 milliamp unit. So I discovered you can also use like many different pedal power supplies, which makes sense because it's a pedal board based kind of thing. 9 volts will work, 12 volts will work. You just need at least 400 milliamps. So as long as your power supply's got a 9 volt, 12 volt, 400 milliamp output available, you're good to go. There is the receiver right there. You can see the 1/4-inch jack right there so that you can plug a cable in if you want to go cable instead of wireless. All right, I'm gonna hook this up and see what it sounds like. All right, so I got the transmitter here on my belt, and I powered up the receiver. They paired up right away. Basically, what I get right away is a display here, little red LEDs. They tell you the battery life. So, like, if there's just one of these lit up, you've got an hour or something left. If you've got 2 of them lit up, you got a couple hours, all the way out to here, which is like 10 hours of battery life, something like that. I'm just shy of the top one, which I think then takes me out to the full 12 hours of battery life. So it arrived pretty much charged up. This little blue light here shows me that I've got a link as far as the RF, the channel that I'm on and whatnot, and the transmitter's linked up. So I got signal. And the first thing that I want to do is tune up. So I'm going to hit the tuner. Let's check that out. There's a couple different modes. There's a strobe mode, as well as this. I think I prefer this mode to the strobe, just because it looks the most familiar, what I'm used to with the 2 arrows and then the green light in the middle, the red lights on either end. to tell you, you know, when you're flat or sharp. But it's a nice tuner. It seems to be like really good as far as, I hate when tuners jitter around a lot. I'm really used to you know, the TC Polytune, excuse me, which just stays very stable and it kind of averages out sharps and flats, and it just seems to be like the most comfortable tuner for me over the years. And this works really great, like as far as that jitter goes. You know what I mean? Like by stability, when you hit the string and it'll go sharp and then come into tune and flat, and it's like, well, where am I? And modern good tuners seem to kind of average that out and make it easier for you on stage to just kind of get a good sort of average idea where the string is. And this one's no exception. It works really well. So let's see, there we go. That's about right. Now, the unit has some gain adjustment on it, but it arrives basically set for unity gain, which is exactly what you want. You don't want to screw around, you know, trying to figure out, oh, is the tuner boosting my signal a lot, or is it like not enough gain compared to a cable? So I want to show you, compared to a short cable, that the tone is really, really similar, and the level coming out of it is exactly the same as when I use a cable. So I got this little short, it's probably like 3 or 4 feet cable here. That is going to show you like the minimum amount of capacitance and the closest thing to what it's like actually just using the wireless, because every wireless, it gets you basically buffered right out of the guitar. What do I mean by that? Well, it's essentially going to make the signal low impedance, and it's going to negate any kind of like cables and stuff that you have coming afterwards on your pedal board. You're going to have a buffered signal coming out of the guitar. Some people are going to like that. Other ones are going to find it bright, because essentially you've got no capacitance or no cable tone in your sound. Just a little bit. Whatever is, you know, from the output of the guitar to the transmitter pack, however long that cable is, which I would say in this case is about, you know, 2.5 feet. That's going to be the amount of capacitance that you get in your signal, which is not very much if you're used to using a 20-foot cable or something. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to just play a chord again, just really basic, and then I'm going to unplug the wireless. I'm going to plug in a cable, and you're going to hear the difference in the sound. Okay, let's go to the chord. Okay, it's really, really close in both level and tone, maybe just a little bit darker, and that's just the sound of this cable and the little bit of capacitance that it imparts on the sound. Now let's go to a much longer cable. Still not long by any means. This would be about a 12-foot, I guess, something like that. Let's listen to what it sounds like. Okay, and once again, let's go back to the wireless. Okay, so that's just what happens when you use a wireless system. Essentially, you're buffered right out of the guitar. You get the full range of your pickups and a very, very clear sound. Now, that just might be something that you want to compensate for on your guitar or not. Maybe you love it like that. If you use active pickups, by the way, none of this matters. If you've got EMGs or Fishman Fluents, you're buffered right out of the guitar anyway. I just realized that I should demonstrate this phenomenon so that I'm not asking you to just take my word for it. I'm just going to show you, because that's what we do around here. We demonstrate things. So, all right, so EMGs in this guitar. Check this out. Here's the sound with the wireless. Mute. Let's go to a cable. So I'm going to use the longer cable. This is about a 12-foot cable that definitely had a little bit of capacitance to the sound when using with passive pickups. Check it out with the EMGs. All right, let's go back to the wireless one more time. Take just a second to link up here with the receiver. There it is.
So there you have it. When you use active pickups, basically what's happening is you're buffered straight out of the guitar. Using a wireless or a cable is going to make little, if any, discernible difference to the sound because there's no cable capacitance that comes into play after the guitar, since there's a preamp in the guitar and you're buffered straight out of the instrument. But if I wanted to darken up the sound a little bit and get a little bit closer to that cable sound, that's what I got tone control on the guitar for. So by backing the tone on the neck pickup down to just like 9 or 8.5 or something, I'm somewhere in the range of, you know, adding that 12 feet of cable. So I experimented a little bit with changing channels on the unit and trying to find like the cleanest channel and then seeing how far away I could get with the transmitter in my guitar from the receiver before I heard any dropouts. So I found the channel that I found to be kind of the cleanest and the range I found to be the cleanest. There's 3 groups on the unit, and I suppose group 3 is the best one to switch into as far as range. And so I put the unit in group 3, found it went to channel 31, I guess, or 31, and I walked way down the hall here at my studio, and I was able to get like at least 50 or 60 feet away from the unit. And keep in mind, this is with a barrier, with a wall between the transmitter and the receiver before I got one hint of a little dropout. And yeah, this wall's loaded with insulation, so it's a pretty good barrier between the transmitter and the receiver, so I thought it was a good test. I'm going to show you that now. Switched into group 3 here. I'm going to try a range test one more time. Alrighty, let's take a listen and see what happened. Okay, so I was all the way down the hall, probably 50 feet away, when I got one little blip. I wouldn't even call it a dropout, really, because the audio never dropped out completely. It was just a little glitch. And that's with a solid wall in between the transmitter and the receiver. So I feel pretty good about that test. Obviously, you know, your mileage may vary in certain challenging environments these days for Wi-Fi. You know, if there's a ton of wireless and Wi-Fi going on, you know, there can always be problems with any wireless system, but I feel pretty good about what I just experienced, at least in this building. They claim 100 feet or 30 meters, a maximum range if the line of sight is good between the transmitter and the receiver. Most of us don't get that far away from our rigs and our pedal boards these days. I mean, 25, 30 feet maximum. So I feel pretty good about it. Thanks for watching my video on the Shure GLX-D Plus wireless system, made for us guitar players to put on our pedal boards. Seems super robust, sounds great, tuner works really good, it's super easy to set up. The true test will come, I think, when I put it on a board and take it out and do a little bit of gigging with it, which I plan on doing, and I'll report back to you guys later, but so far, so good. You can check it out further down there at the link in the video description below. Please click down there and I'll take you to more info about the GLX-D Plus from Shure. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'm Pete Thorne. Take care. Over and out.